Foundations of amateur radio. There is a curious phenomenon related to how we operate that is pervasive within our community. As an inexperienced ham, I would turn on my radio and tune around and hear nothing. I'd change bands and do it again. Over time, I'd work my way through the bands I'm allowed on and find no activity. On rare occasions, I'd venture into the wide unknown and see what other bands were doing, ones where I wasn't allowed to transmit due to my license restrictions, and find lots of people talking to each other, making noise and having fun. More often than not, this band of feverish activity was 20 meters. For a long time, I ascribed magical properties to this 20-meter band. There was always propagation, people were always there, and it seemed that if you wanted to make contacts, that was the place to be. Over time, I participated in contests with other amateurs operating a club station and finding myself on 20 meters making contacts. I began to believe that 20 meters was this amazing place where stuff was always happening. This seemed to be reinforced by other amateurs who would use as their sole reason for gaining extra responsibilities access to the 20-meter band. Now before you start, 20 meters is special. It has some interesting properties which make contacts appear and vanish at short notice. Just like other bands with their different peculiarities, practice makes perfect. But 20 meters isn't that special. It's not a band that is always open or always closed. Just like 15 meters isn't, nor is 10. Neither is 6 meters, 80 meters, or 160 meters, or whatever band you prefer to operate on. No band is always open and no band is always closed. Guess how I know this? Whenever there is a contest, activity blooms all over the place. The bands are full of stations, making contacts, having fun, and annoying those stations who hate contesters with vehemence. So clearly there is something else going on. There is. It's you. And me. And everyone else. We're all listening. And while listening is good, you also need people to talk. Otherwise, there's nothing to listen to. There are automated stations around using beacons and whisper modes and all manner of cute software to determine if their station is being heard. And if you look at the maps, they clearly are being heard. So, as I've said before, go on air and make some noise. If you want to make contacts, you need to make noise. Your friends need to make noise. You need to set up regular contacts with friends somewhere on the planet and actually use the bands. Yes, having access to 20 meters is fun, but lamenting that is frankly a waste of time. Whatever band you're on, whatever you're doing, you need to make noise. Yes, of course, there are variations in propagation throughout the day, and the solar cycle affects how far and wide you'll be heard, and sunspots and solar flares affect the ionosphere as well, but it's not the only variable. Just because no one is heard doesn't mean that no one is there. So, repeating myself, go on air and make some noise. I'm Ono, Victor Kilo 6, Foxtrot Lima Alpha Bravo.